How's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. And today we are here to talk about two Vault Hunters that we've really yet to see much of, and that is Amon and Harlow. So what I'm going to do here is read this article from Game Informer where this person got to play as these two Vault Hunters first, before pretty much anybody else. And it starts here with, I have a brief opportunity to be the first to play two never-before-played Borderlands 4 Vault Hunters. Amon is the hulking brute of the roster, standing over 7 feet tall. His movement is noticeably more tank-like than the other playable characters, but he can still run, jump, and traverse the world, as well as the other Vault Hunters. Though they all have access to the game's vast library of guns, Amon's action skill leans heavier into melee and projectile gameplay, and his trait allows him to have a second action skill associated with each primary one. Crucible allows him to throw elemental axes at his enemy with its secondary action skill, giving him a multi-elemental throw. Meanwhile, his Onslaughter action skill gives him a powerful flaming punch, with the secondary action skill seeing him slam a hammer into the ground to deal fiery AoE damage. His most unique action skill could very well be Scourge, where he summons a shield that can absorb damage, then pays it back to enemies with a projectile whip. In Scourge, he can also spawn a wall of fire that blocks incoming enemy shots and provides cover for you and your team. Next, I spent some time as Harlow, the Gravatar. Harlow's abilities center around a mechanic called entanglement. When enemies are afflicted with this rainbow glowing ailment, damage dealt to one spreads to impact all enemies currently entangled. Her action skills apply it in various ways. With 0 point, Harlow can use telekinesis style powers to lift an enemy off its feet and suspend it in midair. Then Harlow can slam the affected enemy into objects, the ground, and even other enemies, with any enemy hit by the floater also impacted by the entanglement. Her Chroma Accelerator action skill lets her charge up an explosive, unstable energy pocket that blasts forward, entangling any enemy caught in the line of fire or the enormous radius. Finally, Flux Generator sees Harlow drop a pulse mine that entangles any creature caught in the wide radius. I thoroughly enjoyed Harlow's entanglement abilities, though I loved feeling like a Jedi as I lifted an enemy into the sky, slamming them around as I continued blasting away with my rifle. Nothing topped the satisfaction of detonating a massive explosion to wipe a corner of the map. Then again, when you combine the wide radius of the pulse mine with a strong gun, Harlow proves to be a one-woman wrecking crew for big crowds pretty quickly. Okay, so that's everything about Amon and Harlow that's in this article here, and that's where I'm going to pause and move over to just a couple of screenshots I have from Twitter to share with you guys, and then after that I'm going to come back to the article. But the reason why I'm kind of giving this break in between here is so that anybody that doesn't want anything story-wise or anything like that spoiled for them, because there are some story things related in here, if you don't want to hear any of that, then you can hear these couple of tweets. I'll come back and kind of let you guys know that there are spoilers, and then you can dip out of the video. But first up, I have a couple of tweets to share with you guys. First up, from Bad Karma, basically saying, dang it, one thing I never asked anyone from the Borderlands team this weekend, will there be any armory or loadouts that we can quickly swap between? And Graham Timmons responds saying, while not exactly a loadout / armory feature itself, you can mark gear into different groups / tags, favorite 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use filters to quickly swap out your gear. And I can't get the best of idea from him saying this exactly what it means, but Bad Karma does respond saying, I did really love the sorting and filtering options. Thanks for the info. So, I don't know, from what Graham Timmons says here, it to me sounds like you can kind of tag things with a number, and then that number is a sort of loadout that you can, click on, and then when you do, it equips all the gear within that number, maybe? I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I could be getting that totally wrong. If somebody else understands it better than I, let me know. But I was just happy that he responded saying he did like the filtering and sorting and stuff. So hopefully it won't be too crazy for us to go back and forth between loadouts. And the one last thing I wanted to throw in here from Twitter anyways, that is that Graham Timmons himself actually tweets out, "Hey guys, wanted to confirm that photo mode will be coming to Borderlands 4. It'll be a feature that we add in an update after the game launches. I had us prioritize polishing some other elements, more core to the moment-to-moment experience. We've always planned for it and had it tasked up. We just needed to spend a bit more time on things that would directly impact quality of life of playing the game." Okay, so personally, my opinion, I'm just purely happy about this. I think there's still going to be some people out there that are a little disappointed by it not being there right at launch. Personally, if it comes down to polishing up the actual main game gameplay and everything and having that ready for us, I'd rather wait until, like, I don't know, the first big patch or something that Borderlands 4 gets, and then we get photo mode and it's there for the rest of the time being. But we also don't have a bad taste in our mouths from launch of like bad optimization or bad bugs or anything like that. So I'm really excited about this. Their communication on Twitter and things has been absolutely on fire. And if you guys have anything that you want me to try and ask or anything on Twitter, let it be heard down below. Okay, so as I said, we are going to come back to the article from Game Informer talking about some of the experience they had with Borderlands 4. So if you do not want orders of locations within the story to be spoiled, if you don't want anything even remotely story related spoiled for you, I highly implore that you drop out of the video now. I super appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much. We're gonna move forward with the video now. Okay guys, so I'm not reading this whole article here, but I want to kind of cherry pick a couple of paragraphs, and I want to pick this first one here saying, after those initial excursions, it's time for me to move on to another zone within Borderlands 4's huge map. Initially, you only have the Fade Fields to explore, but once you complete a couple of story missions, the world opens up and you can go to either the Order-controlled Terminus range, or where my next session exclusively took me, the Ripper-owned Carcadia Burn. The Rippers may be more aligned with the Vault Hunters' outlooks, but they're hardly allies in the process of forcibly removing their command bolts. Many of them have been driven mad and hostile. Moving from biome to biome feels natural. Slowly, the blades of grass give way to grains of sand as I enter Carcadia Burn, a sandblasted wasteland that took the brunt of the damage when Lilith teleported Elpis at the end of Borderlands 3, resulting in a biome much more in line with what I've come to expect from Borderlands. The notion of starting in a more idyllic location before moving to more obviously dangerous zones was an intentional environmental storytelling move. Okay, now I'm going to skip this paragraph to this one here, and it says, while exploring, I can participate in various global activities that span all zones. Crawlers are pseudo-puzzles where you need to figure out a way to get a battery up to a slot to unlock various rewards. In the event I completed, I unlocked a cosmetic skin for my Digirunner. Silos task you with figuring out how to reach the terminal, which releases a balloon that launches you into the air to glide for distances and helps you find vaults. You can clear safe houses to unlock fast travel and bounty boards, while Rift Champions are difficult enemy variants that spawn in the quarantined spheres in the world and drop massive amounts of loot. That's not even including drill sites, auger mines, survivalist caches, propaganda towers, and various collectibles scattered throughout Kairos. After taking part in some of those side activities, I meet Quent from the Electi Defense Society, a group under siege by the Rippers. The Rippers are launching an attack on the Electi, so they ask you to destroy their catapults. One problem, the bridge to get over to the Rippers is busted, and their catapults are loading up. However, I meet up with a couple of familiar faces, Moxie and Zane, to unleash Sophia, their pet Thresher, on the Rippers. Okay, so that's it for this section. Now we move down to lifting the veil. To wrap up my time with Borderlands 4, Gearbox gives me an exclusive look at Dominion, the stronghold city where the Timekeeper bases his operation. Players visit this location very late in the main storyline, so I won't spoil too much. Of what I saw, but this assault on the Timekeeper's turf brings you into a city setting unlike anything we've ever seen in Borderlands. From the outside, Dominion looks like a utopia, but once you're inside the walls, you learn the ugly truth. Even though you're in an urban environment full of towers and technology, you're still able to explore the vast area fully. The other zones are bigger in breadth, but the verticality of Dominion causes it to rival the actual size of the other regions. Of course, since it's Timekeeper's home base, you'll meet heavy resistance everywhere you go. Within the city, you can expect a density of enemies, biomes, and explorable areas unlike anywhere else in the game. There are also tons of side mission chains that Timmons calls some of his favorites in the entire campaign. Okay guys, so that's everything I had to pick from this article that I thought would be interesting for all of us to read. I will be leaving a link in the description down below to this, but it does cost money to read the full thing, so keep that in mind. With that though, I want to hear what you guys think of everything I just read to you, everything from the photo mode being added post-launch. Are you excited for that? Are you disappointed it won't be at launch? Are you excited about the sorting thing that I read on Twitter? Are you excited about anything that I read from story and locations? Are you excited about Amon and Harlow? I am definitely, like, this just confirmed 100%. I think I'm going to be playing Harlow on launch. Between her 0 point action skill and her pulse mine action skill, I don't know which one I prefer more. The 0 point is the bubbles that you put the enemies into and you can slam them around. The pulse mine is that wide range thing that kind of coats everybody in the entanglement. And basically entanglement sounds like just passive ties that bind, where you just shoot one enemy and do damage to everybody that's entangled. Sounds absolutely insane. And that's basically the rainbow stuff we've seen in prior trailers. So it is pretty wild that we finally found all that out. So let me know, what Vault Hunter, now that we know this much more about Amon and Harlow, does this concretely get you anywhere with choosing your first playthrough Vault Hunter? Let me hear down below. I can't wait to hear from all of you, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.